Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Steven. I thought today I would do an unboxing and initial impressions of this Powertech 110 inch track saw tray. So what it is, it comes in two parts. I ordered it off of Amazon as an option for to be able to rip in one rip long 8-foot sheets. So we thought we would order this, unbox it, and see what we think. And we'll go ahead and do that now. So it comes, it's two 55-inch tracks according to the advertisement that you put together. I'm a little leery on that, so I wanted to actually get this thing and put it together and see if there's any flex in that joint. If there is, that's a deal breaker for me. And then I'm gonna have to spend the big money, I guess, on the 118-inch Milwaukee track. Makita track. I don't know, this might be all right. Theoretically, in my mind, the tracks are wide enough. I feel like if they were joined together, it should be pretty stable. So I think the cost on this thing was about $129. I'm not really sure. I'd have to go back and check that bit. I think it was right around $129. Ordered it off of Amazon. And now compare that to the Makita 118-inch track, and you're looking at around $350. Now we're talking US dollars, so if you're somewhere else, that's what we're looking at. Okay, so we got the one Powertech track. Seems basically the same to me as the Makita track. I don't really see any difference that way. I'm almost wondering if all this aluminum's not extruded out of one factory somewhere, but so with different names. And this is a decal Powertech. So we'll see. I'm going to put my track saw on these and just see how it works here in a second. Here's the second track, so it comes in the box. Two tracks. There we go. Stick that here. These obviously are the joiners that join the two together. It looks like the screws, that's convenient. The screws are actually already in the track joining pieces, and it has an Allen wrench. It's right there in the package. So that's actually nice. I don't have to dig around for tools. Let's see if there's anything else in here, or is it just packaging? Yep, that's all just packaging. Okay, we'll get this out of the way. Get the Powertech track down on here. And join it together and test that flexing action. And see, it looks like, I guess we'll join this, so I guess it doesn't really matter. The tracks are identical. Okay, so tracks all out of the way, and just check this here. Okay, I got it butted up tight, and yeah, it's obviously the same material that's just been cut, so it's perfectly extrusion. The extrusions are perfectly matched, so that's a good sign. So far, so good. If that joint is really perfectly square, theoretically, I don't see any reason why this shouldn't work. But I do have the Bora, the one straight edge that joins, and there is flex in the middle of that, so that's why I'm a little bit leery on this. But the difference is that Bora is only like 2 inches wide. So I feel like there's not as much stability. The Powertech, the tracks here are, I don't know, what is that? 6-7 inches, something like that. I can measure that and see. So I think that's a significant difference. So I actually had seen these things put together, so I kind of know what I'm doing before I get to it. There's one that goes underneath in the back. tighten those down. A little bit snug. I'm not going to crank it all the way down just yet. A little snug there, a little snug here, a little snug here, and we'll go a little snug here. Put one at the top. So my plan is that this track never comes apart. If this works as a straight track, I'm gonna go ahead and keep this track assembled. And this is gonna be my track I use for my long rips. I say that, but as I look around, storage for a 110-inch track is not gonna be that easy to come by. So, actually it does look like a kind of eyeballing spot right there. All right. Pretty straight. I'm going to test it on the edge of my bench top here and see. Seems pretty straight on that bench. Well, initial impression, it's a straight edge. It really is a straight edge. I'll test it with a metal edge here in a second, an actual straight edge. I just want to see how the track saw actually rides on the track here. So now this is the Makita track saw on the Powertech track. I guess what I'll do first thing here is I'm going to test the. Yeah, that was something I was worried about right there, was coming across that joint. I'll be honest, I'm actually fairly impressed here. So first of all, boy, the saw, the way I have it already adjusted from my Makita track, it's already tight. There's no play at all. And then this was my concern. Am I going to hang up right here? Boy, I didn't even feel anything right there. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So far, so good, actually, I gotta say. All right, let me check one more thing. I'm gonna grab a straight edge here. See how straight this actually is. According to the metal straight edge I have here now, this is a 4-foot straight edge splitting the seam right here. It's dead on. And I didn't feel any hang-ups with my saw as I went across that joint. Let me check this. Okay, so now I didn't tighten down that back connector. So if I try to open this joint this way, it will open. But as I go this way, where I have these tightened down, I can't flex it that way. Now, both the connectors are on the end, this end of the track, if that makes sense, on the all to one side, because of the nature it has to be, the way these things are made. Maybe that has something to do with it. But honestly, I'm gonna tighten that back bracket down. Go ahead and tighten it down. Yeah, not getting any movement there. Try the track on that again. So my workbench here, what I did was I used a solid core 1 3/4 door for this bench top. So I'm pretty confident in the straight edge of my workbench here. Now I've got one up on the workbench. I've got that flush, this in flush. It really is straight. I could move the camera and show you and zoom in on this, but it's not worth it. Just take my word for it. And I've got my metal straight edge on there, and that's perfect. I see no gap along that metal edge there. Okay, so that's the unboxing of the Powertech 110-inch track saw track that works with Makita and Festool. I don't know that if it works for the other saws because I just don't know, but I know that Makita and Festool are on the tracks. You can use either saw on either track. I know that as a fact, and now I know that you can use it on the Powertech track as well, which honestly could be a Makita track if you change the decals and the coloring of the rubber pieces, but basically the same thing. I really don't see a difference. The joint is the concern for me, but right now it looks like it's going to do well. I'll let you guys know after I've actually used this thing, and the real test is going to be when I rip a sheet of plywood. I'm going to rip a second rip, and then I'm going to put those two pieces together, and that's going to show me, is there any variation in this thing? Because I can put straight edges on it all day just from experience, so I can tell you when we go cut that plywood that that'll be the true test. So I'll be looking forward to using this on that. But in the meantime, that is the Powertech unboxing. Initial thoughts on this thing, I think it's pretty good. So far, it seems pretty good. I think it's gonna work. Again, I plan on keeping it assembled and keeping it from getting beat up and banged up. But for now, I think we're good. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.